So, dear participant, I welcome you all again to this science webinar series, Let's Talk Science, What, Why and How, being organized by CSIR in collaboration with INEAS. So I welcome you again to this webinar series, Let's Talk Science, which is being organized by CSIR in collaboration with INEAS. So today, like in first lecture, we had a technical information about coronavirus, the technicality of the virus, what a virus is, how is it structured, how it infects. And for today's lecture, we have today the Paramdeep Singh, who is a medical doctor, especially diagnosis and various today on the clinical aspect of COVID-19, various myths associated with it, and its mythbusters.
टाइम देखना कहाँ पर नहीं वो ठीक है मुझे हाफ एन आवर में लेक्चर
So I think you can start with your talk now.
मुझे आवाज नहीं आ रहा
Dr. Paramdeep, we can hear you. Kindly start with your talk.
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon, everybody. So I welcome you all on the behalf of Indian National Young Academy of Science and CSIR to this online lecture, which is live on the YouTube. And the title of the lecture is Clinical Aspects of COVID-19, Myths and Mythbusters. So just a brief introduction. So why we need to know the actual facts regarding the COVID-19. As you know, there is a lot of false information on the social media regarding the COVID-19. And there are many myths also. So it is important for all of us to have the accurate and authentic information regarding the COVID-19, so that if we are well aware of the correct information, only then we can guide other people and other public to have the correct information regarding the COVID-19. So having said that, I will start with the lectures of clinical aspects of COVID-19, myths and mythbusters. I am Paramdeep Singh. Basically, I am working as an associate professor of radiology at University Hospital of Baba Farid University of Health Sciences in Punjab in Faridkot. So, and I am also thankful to the CSIR and CSIO for giving me an opportunity to give this talk. So now we'll start with the talk of COVID-19. So regarding the COVID-19 virus, the basic structure, all the basic sciences has already been covered by Dr. Mehak. And so I'll be only concentrating on the clinical aspects of the COVID-19. So as you know, COVID-19 or the coronavirus is an infectious disease caused by recently discovered virus, which is known as coronavirus or COVID-19. So as you can see that it basically affects our respiratory system. So as students, you must be well aware of our respiratory system, which comprises lungs, trachea, bronchi, our nose, throat. So basically, this virus affects our respiratory system. So how does this COVID-19 virus spreads from one person to another? So this image is a very well explanatory image. So if one person who is already infected with COVID-19, he speaks, if he speaks, he sneezes, or he coughs, so he can transmit the infected droplets from one person to another. And here we can see that the infected person is transmitting the droplets, infected droplets containing virus, from one person to another. So that is one way in which we can have the COVID-19 infection. COVID-19 infection also spreads by, as this picture is also very self-explanatory, by hands. So if we touch our hands on an infected surface, so we can have the infection on our hands. And if we touch these infected hands on our mouth, or on our nose, or on our face, so we can transmit the infection to ourselves. So it is very important for us to wash our hands at regular intervals. So here you can see that the person touches the infected surface, and his hands now contain virus. So if he touches these hands on his mouth, face, or nose, or eyes, he can have the infection. So how long does it take before one shows the symptoms of COVID-19? So if you have an exposure of COVID-19, it will approximately take 2 to 14 days to have your symptoms. So this is known as incubation period, where during which we will get the symptoms. So it is between approximately 2 to 14 days, and if we take the mean, it comes out to be 5 days. So within this period, if one is exposed to COVID-19, he will have the symptoms of the infection. So what are the symptoms of the COVID-19? So the most common symptoms we need to know are the dry cough, fever, difficulty in breathing, and fatigue. So these are the 4 or 5 most common symptoms of COVID-19, and we get these symptoms in 2 to 14 days. However, it is important to know that many people who are having COVID-19 will not show any symptoms. So these are the people who knowingly or unknowingly can transmit the virus from one person to another. So that is very important, that many of the people who are having COVID-19 will not show any symptoms of COVID infection, owing to a very good immunity. So those people who are having good immunity, they may not show any symptoms of the COVID-19. So what happens to a person who develops the disease? So majority of the people, approximately 70 to 80%, will require no treatment, and as such they will recover on their own, while a small proportion, less than 20%, may need hospitalization, and very small proportion may need admission in an ICU if they require ventilatory support, so, or if they are having severe disease, or they are not able to breathe without oxygen. So these kind of people may require an admission in the ICU and may require a hospitalization. However, majority of the people will require no specific treatment and will recover on their own. So another question is, what is the age group in which this disease spreads? So this disease can occur in any age groups, whether a child, whether an infant, whether a young person, whether an old person. But one thing is very important, that older people and the people with some uh, pre-existing medical conditions, those people who are having high blood pressure, or they are having heart disease, or they are having lung disease, they are suffering from cancer or diabetes, and those people who are very old and who do not have a good immunity are at high risk to develop serious illness. So basically, we have to take care of these people very cautiously, and we must ensure that these people do not get any exposure to the virus, because these people are high risk people who can have a serious COVID illness. So the next question is, how long does the coronavirus survive over the surfaces or objects? So the COVID-19 may survive over the surfaces ranging from few hours to few days. So that is why it is very important to wash our hands at regular intervals. So if we touch any surface which we think it might be infected with the virus, so we should ideally wash our hands properly, and we should not apply our dirty hands to our face or nose or mouth. So if we are experiencing any symptoms of the COVID-19, such as fever, cough, or any other symptoms, we should ideally consult a doctor, or we can call the state helpline number or the helpline number of the government of India. In every country, we are having a specialized helpline number for the people who are experiencing COVID-like symptoms, or those who are having a history of recent contact with the COVID patient, or those people who are having a history of traveling to other countries. So you can always call a state or a national helpline number, and governments all over the country have made elaborate arrangements for the COVID patients. So the next question is there any specific treatment for the coronavirus infection? So to date, there is no specific treatment of coronavirus infection. So one thing is good, that 80% of people recover within few days without any specific treatment. And the treatment which we give in the hospitals is basically depends on the symptoms of the patient. So we are having no specific treatments of the COVID-19 patient. So do we have any specific medicines? No, we don't have any specific antiviral medication to treat this coronavirus infection. So please don't take any medicine without the prescription of a doctor, without the prescription of a trained medical personnel. So you have to be very careful. Please do not self-medicate. So this is very important. How can I protect myself and my family members? So if we see the three images below, first we have to maintain a proper hand hygiene. We have to maintain a proper respiratory hygiene, and we should avoid touching other people and touching eyes, nose, and mouth. And we have to maintain at least 1 meter or 3 feet distance between yourself and other people. So these are the 7 steps to wash your hands. So you can see in the image below that these are the 7 steps. So the first these are the 7 steps. The first step of washing hands is that we have to apply soap to our palms. The second step is that we have to rub both of our palms properly. The third step is that we have to apply soap in between our fingers. And the fourth step is that we have to rub our thumbs with the soap. Then the fifth step is that we have to apply soap to the back of our hands. Then we have to apply soap on the adjacent part of the wrist joint. So we have to apply soap on our wrist also. Then we have to wipe our hands with a clean disposable tissue paper. And then we have to throw the tissue paper in the closed dustbin. This is also very important. So these are the 7 steps to wash our hands, and you have to wash your hand for at least 20 seconds. And if you follow this procedure, I feel you will save yourself and your near and dear ones from the COVID-19 infection. So next question is when to wash our hands. So we have to wash our hands after coughing, after sneezing, when we are caring for the sick, when our hands are visibly dirty, after the toilet use, before eating, before, during, and after you prepare the food, after handling the animals or the animals waste. So these are the few things which we have to take care of, and after these things we have to wash our hands properly for at least 20 seconds. So when we cough or sneeze, this image shows that when we cough or sneeze, we have to do it in a proper way. So how to do it? We have to basically cough or sneeze with a flexed elbow. Like here we can see this very good image where we are flexing our elbow and we are coughing or sneezing and covering the mouth with the flexed elbow, or we can use a disposable tissue and discard immediately after use. So why don't we use our hands? So if we use our hands may become infected and we can transmit the infection to others also. So ideally we should not use our hands while coughing or sneezing. And one thing is also very important, that we have to greet with the namaste, with the sat sri akal, and we should not idly touch the people. So in this slide below, I can see that the people are shaking hands, are being very close to each other. So this we have to avoid. So we have to maintain at least 1 meter distance in all that. Thank you. So what is the role of hand sanitizers? So basically hand sanitizers which we are using should contain at least 70% alcohol, and we have to wash our hands for at least 20 seconds with the hand sanitizer, so with a 70% alcohol. And there is no role of any specific food drinks in the treatment of the coronavirus infection. So this image very well shows the hand sanitizer that should be at least with 70% alcohol. And then we have to make sure that we have to be active when we are at home. So we have to be physically active for at least 30 minutes to 45 minutes in one day as per World Health Organization. So this is very important to know. And one thing is there, that we have to be stay home during this period. We have to ensure that we drink proper amount of water. We have to stay hydrated, eat a balanced diet, as well as we have to rest well. So these are the few important things which we have to do. And we should avoid smoking, because smoking injures our lungs and can increase the chances of getting COVID-19. And we should have the proper intake of fruits and vegetables during COVID-19. Before handling the fruits and vegetables, we have to wash our hands with soap and water. Then we have to wash the fruits and vegetables thoroughly with the clean water. So this is very important. So these are the fruits and vegetables which we have to wash thoroughly after washing our hands. Uh, so the next slide is the home care for the people with suspected or confirmed COVID-19. This is also very important. Suppose if you are having a patient who is suspected or a confirmed case of COVID-19, but he is not very sick. So one can take care of him at his home also. So what precautions you have to take, that ensure that ill person rests during his illness and drinks plenty of fluids and eat nutritious food. And you have to properly wash your hands after caring of the patient, and do not touch your face or mouth with the infected hands. And you have to identify the frequently touched surfaces by the ill person and clean and disinfect them daily. So we also have to wear a medical mask when we are in the same room with the ill person, and we have to use separate utensils for the infected person, and we should not share that utensils with the other family members. So we have to call our healthcare facility immediately if the person experiences difficulty in breathing or his condition worsens. So the next question is, are there any vaccines available for treatment of the COVID-19 virus infection? As of now, there is no vaccine available for the COVID-19 infection. So this we have to keep in mind. So these are the few common myths and facts which we should be aware of. And these myths, the first myth is, does the disease spread through the non-vegetarian food? So the answer is, there is no conclusive evidence. So if the non-vegetarian food is properly cooked, so there is no evidence that the disease will spread to the through this non-vegetarian food, so we can have them safely. So the disease also do not spread through the pet animals. So if you are having a pets like cats or dogs, that is perfectly okay. And there is also no evidence that the coronavirus infection transmits from a dead body of a person to a live person. So this we also have to keep in mind. But anyhow, we have to take precautions while disposing of the dead body of a infected person. So the next fact is that thermal scanners do not detect people infected with the new coronavirus. They only detect people who are having fever, and they do not tell us whether the patient is having infection or not. So this thing we have to keep in our mind. So the next question is, are the hand dryers effective in killing the new coronavirus? So the hand dryers are not effective in killing the 2019 COVID. So we have to either wash our hands, or we have to wash our hands with the alcohol-based hand rub. The next question is that, can an ultraviolet disinfection lamp kill the new coronavirus? The answer is that we should not use the UV lamps because they may cause skin irritation. So either we can use the alcohol-based hand rub, or we can wash our hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. So one thing is there that there is no specific vaccine to prevent the coronavirus infection, though there are pneumonia vaccines which prevent us from the pneumonia, like pneumococcal vaccine, Haemophilus influenza vaccine, but till date, we do not have any specific vaccine for the coronavirus infection. And one thing is that, one fact is that putting any kind of oil in our body is not going to protect us from the coronavirus infection. This is very important. The sesame oil also do not So another thing is that eating garlic will not prevent us from the infection, from getting infected with the new coronavirus. Though garlic is a healthy food that may have some antimicrobial property, but there is no evidence that it is going to protect us from the coronavirus infection. Then another fact is that regularly rinsing your nose with saline water is not going to protect us from the new coronavirus infection. So this thing we also have to keep in our mind that this is not going to protect. Another fact is that 5G mobile networks or radio waves are not going to protect us from the COVID-19 infection, because COVID viruses cannot travel on the radio waves and mobile networks. So another fact is that exposing yourself to sun or temperature more than 25 degrees will not prevent us from the coronavirus infection. So this thing we have to be mindful of. So there were many WhatsApp messages last week. I was reading, a person was saying that if we can hold our breath for 10 seconds or more without coughing or feeling discomfort. So this thing does not mean you are free from the COVID-19. So these are only presumptions, but there is no evidence for this. So if you are able to hold your breath, even then you can have the COVID-19 infection. So another fact is that drinking alcohol will not protect us against the COVID-19. So excessive alcohol can lower your immunity and increase your health issues. So please do not drink excessive alcohol as it is harmful for your health. And this has already been discussed that the coronavirus can be transmitted in any areas, whether with a hot and humid climate or even in cold weather. So whether it is hot, whether it is cold, we can get the coronavirus infection. Why? Because our body temperature remains around 36.5 degrees Celsius to 37 degrees Celsius, regardless of the external temperature. So we can have the COVID-19 infection both in hot and cold water. As well as the taking a hot bath is not going to prevent us from the new coronavirus infection, because if the virus has already entered your body, even if you take a hot bath, that is not going to make any difference. And another important facts are that the new coronavirus cannot be transmitted through mosquito bite, neither they can be transmitted by means of the houseflies. So please, I was watching few videos on the Facebook that some people were saying that these viruses can be transmitted by the mosquitoes and housefly. So this is all wrong. So the coronavirus is not transmitted to the humans by the houseflies or the mosquitoes. So another point about the antibiotics. So antibiotics are basically effective only against the bacteria, not against the viruses. So taking antibiotics without the prescription of a doctor will not prevent you from having the COVID-19. So please don't take any antibiotics without the prescription of a medical practitioner. So another important is that can physical distancing really help reduce the spread of the COVID-19? Answer is yes, because approximately 70 to 80% of people are infected with COVID-19 show mild or no symptoms and can transmit the virus to other persons. So it is always important to maintain physical distancing of at least 1 meter, at least 1 meter. You can increase as much as you can, but it should be at least 1 meter of physical distancing. So one thing is also there that there was a news from India that people have started cutting trees because they feel that the bats are spreading the COVID-19 in India. But however, it has been shown that bats in India are not known to spread the novel coronavirus, but they are very important for agriculture and pest control. So basically, the virus in India is spreading by human to human contact. So we have to prevent that, and please don't cut the trees to remove the bats. So we have to maintain our natural habitats, and that is very important. And another claim is that cow urine or cow dung is going to protect us from the COVID infection, but there is no evidence to support this. So cow urine or cow dung is not going to protect you from the COVID-19 infection. Another claim is that practicing yoga is going to protect you from the coronavirus infection. This is most likely false because we don't have enough evidence. Though yoga is very healthy for our body, it helps us to keep fit and it helps us to keep moving during the lockdown. But we don't have any specific evidence that practicing yoga will reduce the chance of the COVID infection. Another claim is that Indians have a better immunity against the COVID infection, but I feel this is most likely false because we don't have enough evidence. So as you know that more than 20,000 cases has been detected in India, more than 20,000. So this is most likely false that we are having better immunity against the COVID-19 infection. Another claim is that the novel coronavirus is less dangerous in India. So this is also most likely false. It is not less dangerous in India, but it is too early to claim this. So another claim is that whether the air conditioner can spread the coronavirus or not, but there is not enough evidence to support this. So the understanding is that single room ACs may not spread the virus if they are well maintained and their outdoor parts are in a properly ventilated areas. But we do not yet know that whether the centralized AC systems can transmit the virus or not, and we require further studies to see whether the centralized AC systems can transmit the virus. Another fact is that fasting is not going to reduce chances of getting infected by coronavirus because coronavirus enters the body through the respiratory tract. So fasting, there is no correlation with fasting. So another fact is that clapping your hands together is not going to destroy the coronavirus. Because when we clap our hands, the frequency of clapping is too low, 1 to 10 kilohertz. And only ultrasonic waves with more than 20 kilohertz of frequency are known to cause damage to bacteria and viruses. Next fact is that homeopathic or Ayurvedic medicines will not protect you from the coronavirus infection because there is no evidence to support that these medicines have any effect on the coronavirus. More studies are required to validate this. So another fact is that astrology or astrologers cannot give you any input towards the understanding of the COVID-19 disease, because these two things are completely different, and there is not any specific evidence that astrology can foresee any infection or can let us know that whether we'll be infected with the virus or not. So another fact is that there are no miracle cures for the COVID-19. So please do not fall into the trap of the superstition. So you have to believe in science, and the things which are having scientific evidence are to be followed. So please don't be superstitious. There are no miracle cures for the COVID-19 infection. And presently, there is no evidence that any specific home remedy is going to protect us from the COVID-19. But one thing is there, that you have to eat healthy and be physically fit. You have to be well hydrated. You have to follow the physical distancing and wash your hands properly. So these things are very important. So another fact is that burning candles or diyas cannot stop the coronavirus epidemic, and we have to be mindful of that, and that burning these kind of things is not going to stop the epidemic. So in the end, we are going to play a game. I'll ask few questions and you can write down the answer in the chat box, and let's expose the virus. So the idea is to basically revise the whole of the lecture. So the first question is that the first fact is that elderly people are more at risk of catching the infection of severe infection of the COVID-19. So this is true, that the elderly people are having more risk of catching the COVID-19 infection. So the second fact is that if someone is coughing in the public, is it all right to shout and tell that person to go away? This is not true. So we should not have this kind of attitude. So if someone needs help, so we have to ensure that to guide him properly and ask him to take the help of the state or the central governments and call at the helpline number. So this is the right attitude. So the next fact is that do not touch your face, nose, mouth and eyes with your hands. This is true because your hands can transmit the infection to you if you touch your face. The next fact is that eating garlic and sesame keep you safe from the COVID-19 infection. This is false. And suppose if your name is Asha, whether you have to wear mask at all the times. So actually the answer is that majority of the state governments have made it mandatory to wear the mask if you go out from your homes. So but you don't have to wear the mask all the times when you sleep and when you are at your home. So there is no need to wear a mask. So if you are going in the crowded places, so it is always good to wear a mask, and since majority of the state governments have made it mandatory to wear a mask, so it is always better to do so. So the next fact is that person with diabetes, hypertension is a high risk group. So this is also true. And next fact is that the drink warm water to protect yourself from COVID-19, and this is false. The next fact is that shortness of breath with high fever requires immediate hospitalization. So not every person requires hospitalization. So if you are having shortness of breath with fever, you will be first evaluated by the doctors. And after your evaluation, it will be decided whether you require hospitalization or not. So it is very important to consult the medical practitioners for this. So the next fact is that spraying alcohol or disinfectant all over your body will prevent you from COVID-19. This is false. So the next fact is that we can clean hands with any sanitizer. So this is also false. We have to clean hands with the sanitizer which contain at least 70% alcohol. The next fact is that wash cloth with 0.5% sodium hypochlorite solution. This is also false. If we use sodium hypochlorite solution to wash clothes, it is going to damage our clothes or bleach our clothes. So we can wash clothes with a proper soap. So we don't need a sodium hypochlorite solution. So the next fact is that keep a distance of at least 3 meters from the people who are coughing or sneezing. So this is true. We have to keep at least 1 meter distance, but if it is farther from the 1 meter, it is always better. And the next fact is that when you remove your mask, you do not touch the front. Always remove the lace from behind. This is also true. So when you go outside, you wear a mask. You don't have to touch the front of the mask with your hands, because your hands may transmit the infection, as well as the mask which you are wearing may transmit the infection to your hands. So we don't have to touch the front of the mask. So the next fact is that use of saline sprays will prevent the virus infection. This is also false. And the last fact is that do not spit in the open. So this is also false. If we spit in the open, it can transmit the virus infection. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much. So you have to be careful and not fearful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Paramdeep. So there are a couple of questions from the participants. So I would request you to address these questions. So I'm audible to you?
Please hold on. Please hold on. Yes, please.
There are a couple of questions asked by participants. So first question is it has been recommended to use mask when we go outside. So how long we can use that mask? Like how many times we can use that mask?
So basically the answer of this question is that I'll just show you my mask. So this is a homemade mask. So ideally, after every use, we can wash this mask and we can reuse it. But there is a other type of mask which is a triple layer mask. That mask we can use only once. So we have to discard that mask. But however, homemade masks are reusable and we can use them again and again.
Okay, thank you so much. One question asked by a participant is how we can improve our immunity at home, like staying at home. By which way we can improve our immunity?
So this is a very good question. So basically, the first important thing is that we have to eat healthy. So we have to eat a healthy food, a healthy balanced diet, proper amount of proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, and we have to keep ourselves hydrated. And at the same time, we have to keep ourselves physically active. This is also very important. So we have to keep ourselves physically active, we have to eat healthy, and we have to keep ourselves hydrated, and we have to wash our hands at least after every 2 hours, and we should ideally not go outside our home unless it is very much required. So we have to take these precautions and so that we can prevent ourselves from the infection.
Yeah, there is another one very good question asked is, Can this COVID-19 spread in animals? If yes, what are the symptoms?
Can you please repeat the question? Hello. Yes, Dr. Pooja, can you please repeat the question?
Can this COVID-19 spread in animals? If yes, what could be the symptoms like in animals, like pet?
Actually, till date, there is no definite evidence that COVID-19 is transmitted by the pets, especially in India. We have cats and dogs and pets. So there is no evidence that these can be transmitted by pets. So I feel that if you are having pets, it is perfectly okay. There is no need to worry.
Okay, Partitji, there is another question. There are some myths like if we can take turmeric or lemon juice, it will help us. So what do you say about this thing, like taking turmeric or lemon juice, avoid cold drinks? What is
Yeah,
your views
actually,
on this?
you see that as far as lemon juice is concerned, lemon juice has got vitamin C, and vitamin C is one such vitamin which builds our immunity. So, taking good amount of vitamin C is obviously good for health. But as far as cold drinks are concerned, they mainly contain sugary substances which increase your weights, so they are not they don't have any kind of nutrition. So ideally we should avoid cold drinks, because since during the lockdown we are not that active and we are not that moving around, so we should avoid the high calorie foods, and obviously lemon juice and other fruits which contain vitamin C are good for health.
Yeah, thank you so much for this clarification. Uh, there is one question asked about the lifespan of virus. Like we know if it is infected in humans, its lifespan is 15 days. What is its lifespan without host? Like as a spores or on different surfaces? Like what is the lifespan of the virus?
Actually, I am not able to completely hear you. Can you please repeat the question?
The lifespan of the virus without the host.
Actually, the virus is basically when the virus enters the host, it requires the host cells to replicate. So the virus, if the virus is on the surfaces, it has shown to be active and live for few hours, ranging from few hours to few days. So even if we touch, suppose we touch any infected surface and then we touch our mouth or nose, so we can be infected. So the surfaces has been shown to be infected by the virus ranging from few hours to few days, but still more studies are going on, and after the outcome of that studies we'll be more wiser.
Okay, Prandeep. Are there any other symptoms also, like field infection associated with COVID-19?
Yeah, actually, a few more symptoms have been documented in sporadic literature. One of the symptoms has been very frequently documented is that loss of smell, and another symptoms that have been documented is diarrhea. But still, I feel more studies are required whether these symptoms are a part and parcel of the COVID-19 infection or not. Some symptoms related to brain have also been documented in sporadic papers, but I feel still we need large studies to know actually whether these symptoms are a part of the COVID infection or not. But out of these symptoms, the loss of smell is has been documented most frequently. So if you are having a loss of smell, that may be a symptom of the COVID-19 infection.
Okay, Prandeep. There is one more question, like can this virus transmit through dead bodies? Although
Yeah,
you covered, but
actually,
put some more light.
actually,
Yeah.
till date, there is no definite scientific evidence that virus can be transmitted by dead bodies. But with time, after few more studies are done, we can give a better answer. But as today, I can say that the virus is not transmitted by dead bodies to live bodies, because there has been no case where the virus has been transmitted, no documented case where the virus has been transmitted from the dead body to a li- living human being. Yeah.
Okay. Another clarification which is required is it good to take dairy milk these days? Like dairy milk, consuming dairy milk, is it good? Like if you take it?
Yeah, if you want to take milk and the milk is pasteurized, it is perfectly safe. There is no issue. We can easily take this milk. Dairy milk is safe, but we have to pasteurize it before the intake.
Okay. And one more question is like alcohol-based sanitizer are being used as a disinfectant, but in this several places there are tunnels being deployed that spread the disinfectant onto the living person. Okay, so are those disinfectant good for the skin? Like sodium hypochlorite is being used. Is it
Uh,
good for the skin?
actually, though initially few tunnels were also made in our country, but recently the government of India has issued a notification that, and the government of Punjab also, that there is no use, because there is no scientific evidence that these kind of tunnels are going to disinfect all of us and we will not have the virus infection. So actually, as of now, the use is still debatable, and there is no evidence that they are beneficial to the humans.
Okay, Dr. Paramdeep, we are going with last two questions. So other questions you can answer on to the chat box after the talk. So one question is, can corona be cured from the blood of cured patients? Means the patients who have been recovered from COVID-19, can
Mhm.
their blood be used to cure other patients?
Yeah, actually, the plasma, basically not blood, the plasma of the patients who have recovered from the COVID-19 infection have been used at many places to treat the patients with the coronavirus. So basically, the fact is that the plasma of a person who has been cured of the COVID-19 contain the antibodies in that. And when we transmit the plasma from the person who has already recovered from the COVID-19 and give to the other person who is presently having the COVID-19 infection, and it may potentially help in faster healing of that patient. But this use has not been done on a very large scale. Only very few sporadic reports are there which have claimed that it has helped the hospitals to have a faster cure for the patients with the COVID-19 infection. But we still require a very large scale studies to document that whether the plasma therapy actually helps in faster treatment of the patients with the COVID-19.
Okay, thank you so much for this clarification. There is one, this question has been asked by many students, since most of the students are at lockdown at their home. So will coronavirus pandemic be over by May or subside, or when this lockdown will be over?
So you see that very recently I was hearing the speech of the Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros. So he says that the COVID-19 infection is here to stay. It is not going to be over very soon, and the one thing, the most important thing is that we have to be fast in developing a vaccine for it. So, as per WHO, the COVID-19 pandemic is not going to be over very soon. So, these WHO people can tell us better when this pandemic will be over. But as per statement of the Director General of the WHO, this pandemic is not going to be over very soon, and it is obviously going to take some time. So, how much time that obviously we have to wait for the word from the WHO.
Okay, thank you, Paramdeep ji, for such a nice presentation and taking all the questions and nicely explaining them. Thank you so much for being with us. So I request you to answer other questions which has been asked by the participant after this talk in the chat box. I also would like to inform the participant that they can put their question even after this talk in the chat box. Their questions will be answered individually. Thank you so much for being with us. And
Thank
I
you.
also would like to, yeah. So we will be having the next talk in this series on Monday on specific topic of genomics for the school students. So we'll be covering this different aspect of genomics. Thank you so much, Paramdeep ji again.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.